What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade video. Alright guys, we got a brand new code. Make sure you take advantage of this one. This is a big one, JJKPPDOMEX. What the hell is this? Either way, it gives you AP supplementary pack times 3, which is a crap load of stamina to help you get through this. Now, this is a limited time code going from November 7th to the 13th, so make sure you take advantage of these codes, guys. There's going to be one a day, so tomorrow we'll see a new one, and one that we'll have hopefully take advantage of as well, too. Now, let's talk a little bit about the game itself. There are a couple things I want to discuss. Many of you guys have been asking me how to use Gojo correctly, and what makes them limited, and why you actually do need a secondary backup DPS, and I'll tell you specifically why and which mode that's going to matter the most. So first off, let's talk about Gojo, the character himself. All right, now I did make a preliminary video about him right before he was released, but I do want to discuss what he's all about, how to use him properly, and how to equip the recollection bit on him that's going to make the most amount of sense. Okay, so first off, let's talk a little bit about his skills. Now, first thing you want to note about the skills is that he has cursed and physical skills, and his ultimate is also considered a curse skill. So the way you want to work with this is you want to work with building cursed damage recollections. Okay, so here's how it works. The first skill he has gives you 300. It's normally 270. I boosted it up to level 3, so it's 315. So it's 270 versus his physical skill, which is 200. Okay, so you guys can see obviously the physical skill is inferior to the curse skill, and not to mention the curse skill costs 0, this costs 1. I mean, that's negligible anyways. And then also here, it's starting to get fun. It's something you absolutely want to do on yourself at least once. One thing to note, whenever you cast this, that counts as 1 turn. So really, you're only getting 2 turns of the damage increase, not 1. Okay, so that's a big difference. A lot of people don't know that. So when you do cast this, it says boosting yourself damage increase for 3 turns. It's actually only really 2 turns, because that cast actually counts as 1 turn. When your turn ends, it goes down to 2 turns instead. So just in the back of your minds, remember that when you're doing this. And then lastly, of course, his ultimate curse technique, reveal a reversal red, which does a AoE damage at 641%. Of course, getting yourself maxed out here. Now, if he does have a cooperative, and you always want to add a cooperative, applies 10% break damage increase to self and cooperator, ultimate for 2 turns, deals range attack damage to all enemies equal to 100% of the curse technique. So very, very important to do that. Now, the gimmick here, the biggest gimmick here, is there's really 2 of them. Okay, number 1, after 7 full turns, he's out. And I'm not talking about he's out, he's considered dead. Okay, even though he leaves the battle, he says bye-bye, he leaves, you no longer have him on your team. All right, but it's also when you are doing missions where somebody can't die, if he does reach the 7 turns, it's considered a death. All right, so keep that in mind. Your 3-star trophy will no longer be there. Very important to remember that, especially when you're trying to get clears on 3 trophies, so you guys can do the skip turns. This is a very important thing to remember. This is considered an actual death, not a turn. Okay. Second thing, when a battle starts, he applies attack nullification to self. There is an actual limit to this as well. He can get hurt, believe it or not. When he goes into anyone's domain, when an enemy casts a domain, he is susceptible to damage. He will take damage, and he's actually very squishy. So you actually can die with him if you are looking to use him in domain fights. Make sure that he is protected with damage reductions and some form of heals, or else you will lose him even before the 7 turns. So that is a very big limitation, okay? Now, main things to note about him: skill enhancements. The only 3 skills you want to focus on is his first skill here. You want to get this one up as much as you can, because it's technically your biggest damage dealing attack next to your ultimate. And then of course we're focusing on, it's starting to get fun. So I would go the following. I would do 1, get this one up, get this one up to 3, and then go back to this one and get this one to 3. I don't even touch the physical one. I don't think it's worth it. Even if you put a physical recollection bit, like 60%, 70%, whatever the case may be, it's not even going to be close to just watch and see. So he's a curse technique unit. Focus on that, okay? Very important to remember that part. Now, in terms of recollection bits, there's a couple good ones you can use. The one that you want for him is his own purple one. That one is the best one for him. But if you don't have that, right, and you're looking for something to use on the side for now, especially like myself, who doesn't have very good SSR ones, you guys can see anything that has physical technique and curse technique is always a go-to. For example, don't use this one. Okay, there's a Gojo one here with Sukuna. Don't use that one. Look, it only gives physical technique. We know he's not physical, right? This is more of a Yuji technique than it is him. Even here, if you see here, it applies 60% physical technique for 2 turns. Useless. Again, not worthwhile for him, because we know his physical attack's not that strong. So what do you want to focus on? Well, he doesn't need to heal himself. unless he's in a domain, we know that, right? He also doesn't need to apply damage decrease for himself, so this one's useless even though it has the curse technique on there. So something like this is useless, but something like this is actually much better. So this SR one, for example, someday I want to be with everyone, is not a bad option. For example, it does give you the physical and curse technique. You can see curse technique is a little bit higher, which is good. Now the skills themselves right here, triggered upon using a command skill or ultimate skill, applies 30% curse technique increase for self for 2 turns, can be used again after 6 turns. So this is not a bad option, especially because you can use it twice. If you use it the first, as soon as the battle starts, that's an extra 30% damage right there for your main attack. And then right before the battle ends, before his 7 turns are up, he can use it one more time with any extra buffs that he has, will help him improve the amount of damage this does. So what you want to do here is you want to try to boost this as much as you can. You can see here the C tech goes up much higher than the physical tech. So this is one that you might want to consider using as an SR version of that weapon, okay? And you just keep looking around, you can find other ones as well. Like this is not a bad one either. This one applies 10% damage dealt increase to all allies, right? But then this one only has C-Tech, so this is not a bad option. Death by Wasp. Now, the cool thing with these ones is you can actually find them in the shop. So if you go back to the shop here, let me show you guys real quick. There's an exchange shop, right? If you go right into friendship points, you can actually find some of these here for free, like for example that one, and get them maxed out. Look, it only takes 100 friendship points to maximize all 5 of these, which will give you guys the most amount of potential. And the second skill here as well, when turn starts, if self's HP is no more than 50% and can be used only once, recovers cursed HP, or sorry, cursed energy for self. This is not an important one for him specifically, but it's still nice to have the extra damage increase and the curse. So this is not a bad option as a backup. Now there's a couple other ones here that you can also look into. For example, this one here, again, not really worthwhile for him, because again, it doesn't require this one. Let's see, this one here, this is all across the board the same thing. This is a break one, so if you're looking to break, this is not a bad option as well. And you guys can see here, this one also applies break damage for self when the battle starts. So he's actually a pretty good breaker, so you could use this one as well too, okay? But ideally, what you want to do, guys, is you want to try to get yourself the main one, which is going to matter the most, and that is going to be the recollection bit for himself, like the purple one that he has. Let me see if I can find it. Let's go to the Gacha. See if I can find it here. Is there a way to check the recollection bit? I don't remember if there's a way to check the recollection bits that you don't have. Let me just see. There's a lot here that you convert. Let's see, recollection bits. Can I see ones I don't have? I don't think I can, right? You can do this though. Let's see which ones has what. Yeah, I don't think I can see it, but it's the anyways, it's his recollection bit. It can be you can get them from gachas. Let me see if the gacha details has anything. Probabilities. Where is it? The strongest. Here we go. No, that's the SSR. We don't want the SSR. We want the recollection bit. So this is characters. Let me see where there we go. Recollection bits. Gacha details. Let me see if I can get you guys the name of it. Right over this one. No, that's the character again. Where's the recollection bits? Oh, here we go. Forgot which one it's called. I think it's called Play of the Strong. I think that's the correct one. I could be wrong. I think it might be called Play of the Strong. So I think that's the one you're looking for. Pretty sure that's the one. Because I'm used to the Japanese one, so I can't really. I don't know what the English name version of it is. Either way, I'll find it for you guys. Next time we do the tier list for. Actually, maybe it's in here. Does it show? No, it doesn't show, sadly. Yeah, I'll try to find it for you guys when I do my tier list and for recollection bits, which is coming soon. But yeah, ideally that's how you want to do it. So with Gojo, the main thing you want to remember is story mode and other modes are fairly straightforward to use. He's fine to be your only DPS. Where it starts to become dicey, really, is going to be in areas like this, right? In domain investigation. So when you're doing domain investigation, the amount of 5 battles here, the turns actually continue going, right? So for example, if I were to put him in here, the next battle that he's in, that turn will remain the same. So unfortunately, he loses the turn every single time. And when you get to the harder battles, you need more than one turn to clear out enemies. So you end up actually losing him completely as a character. So always have a backup DPS in your team in order to back him up as well too. So in my case, I'm building my only other SSR Nanami here and putting him in once Gojo's gone. And that way, at least I have a backup unit as well. Also, don't forget, guys, supports are so damn important. You can actually clear a lot of content with weaker units if your supports are good and also buffing you. So that's essentially how Gojo works. That's how you want to focus on him. And also there's his limitations. Always have a backup for him, especially in domain investigation. It's super, super important to have a backup DPS, just because you do need someone else to come and clean up the trash once he's gone, or at least to just use him in domain investigation when you have no more turns left. All right, guys, the Pain, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.